Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Michael Henry Davies. On this episode of Lifelong Learning, we're out in the woods. I've got this journal that I'm going to be using for stuff related to videos, and I've got a compass. What we're going to work on today is learning how to draw a mandala, which is one of my absolute favorite kind of artistic rituals that I've known I learned how to do when I was in second grade, if I'm remembering correctly, and I've been absolutely obsessed ever since. So if you want to learn how to draw mandalas, just kind of to a basic level, some basic ideas, this might be the video for you, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks. Mandalas have been one of my favorite things to make since I was a child. Like in second grade, I think it was, our teacher brought a family member, I think their father, in to do like an art day with us, and they taught us how to do mandalas, and it was just one of my favorite things to make from there forward. So some people might call this the flower of life, I think is the other one. But we're gonna be using one of these twist compasses today. I had a compass that was just more of a grocery store style and had pretty good friction, so it worked well, but it lost the needle and I couldn't replace the needle. So we made a little blick run on our way out, and first step with making a mandala is gonna be to select your marking tool and to make sure it fits, and to cut yourself while you're trying to put this together off camera the first time. And then once you've got all that taken care of, then you can bring this in. I actually, this little mark on my finger, I cut myself with the plastic attachment on accident. It was brutal. So, okay, this might be the last thing that ever goes into this compass. Yeah, it would be. Oh, wow. And we're bleeding. 2 minutes in, we're bleeding. Oh my God, I just stabbed myself with the compass. Okay, we gotta move fast now, and I don't have any Band-Aids with me, so that's great. Here we go. So you're basically gonna slide your marking tool in, and then you're gonna get it as close to basically even with that needle as you can. So that looks like it's gonna be just fine for me today. And then to start, we're just gonna set our compass with a little bit of a gap so that we can start making some circles. So first step is just to pick a point in the center of my page-ish. Doesn't have to be exactly the center for this setting. And I'm just gonna press my needle right into, oh wait, it looks like I have a phantom spot right there. Okay. Now I'm just keeping even pressure on that center point and just slowly rotating the compass around that center point to create that first initial circle. That first initial circle is huge. Basically everything is gonna start working from there. Let me just adjust my camera so I can see a little better. All right, so next step, now that we've got this first circle down, I'm just gonna pick any point along the edge of that circle, and I'm gonna poke my compass into the edge there. And I'm now going to repeat this little circle drawing process, and sometimes it can be easier to go half and half. With my positioning right now, that's easier to go half and half. And now I've got two circles, right? Wow. Kind of a Venn diagram going on. So if you want to make a Venn diagram with a compass, there you go. Next step is going to be to try to nail each of these intersections as much as we can. And I'm not going to get my eyes right up against that, so we'll just take that, say it's good enough. And I'm now going to just continue around the circle, creating circles that are centered around these intersections. So I find my initial starting circle, go to the most recent open spot here, poke my compass down, give it a spin, and it's fun because the pattern starts to just emerge, and then you can do all kinds of artistic things with the pattern. You can color it in, you can do different patterns in each cell. I have a huge one of these in my room that I just add to with paint whenever I'm feeling like it, and it's just a great framework and kind of a fractal to just start playing around with. And you can start to see these sort of petal shapes are developing in the central circle, which is totally an option too. If you just want to do this, I'm going to do one to demonstrate the inside line. Just the inside line around the whole thing will just create that center circle, and that can be a really fun look too. But I just went straight for the full one for right now. So this is the one that I only did half. Let me finish that one off. Oh no, I think made a second dot. We'll see how close these end up being. Okay, those are pretty close. Bam. So that is essentially the first step of the mandala creation process, which is really, really cool. And then, so I talked about how you can do that, just the center circle, which is really fun. Then you can do this more outside circle. We're gonna do even one more layer here. And before I do, let me go and mark these so I don't lose them. I'm just marking all of the intersections that are the current intersections. of these, and you can start to see how you can basically fractal this out into as many layers as you want it to be. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 markings, and I'm gonna just double check my center because I just felt myself touch the wheel a little bit. Looks pretty good. All right, so we're gonna go around the wheel, or around our mandala now, adding these outer circles. 1, 2, oh no, I felt a wheel spin. Let me double check. Okay, it was a benign wheel spin. We're good. Because that little wheel in the middle of this compass is controlling the distance. It's got those threaded rods that come out, and so as I spin the wheel, it actually changes the length of the compass. Is why anytime I feel myself touch that, I need to go and double check against my start circle, and that's why that start circle is so important, because everything else, you're going to be able to go and use that as a reference point when stuff gets out of control. I think this is almost done. I want to say this is 5. Oh, I almost made it. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now you're starting to see how this pattern can just go on forever, because I could mark the next phase of those intersections and keep going on that same instance. One more thing I wanted to demo too before we're done for today. One thing that's really handy, if I want to try to find the halfway point between my compass, basically, if I go and pick 2 of these circle centers, so here are these 2 circles, 1 and 2. If I wanted to try to find the halfway point, you know, that's going to be between those, how would we do that with our compass? Well, as you see, when we made these 2 circles, they then make these intersections where the circles are crossing over each other, each of those X's, and this is actually going to be way easier if I just get a fresh page to show you this idea. So let's say I want to make my compass half the length that it is now. Oh, actually, I have a scrap page with an empty circle already. We'll use that. Okay, not that circle, but we're going to use right here. Let's say I'm just trying to make my compass half the length that it is. Here's what I'd do. I'd do 1, 2, I'd come over to that edge, and I'd do another 1, 2. And that is the center that I had just come from. Now, I can take a pencil and a straight edge, and I can very easily mark that line one to the next. And now that becomes a very quick way that I can, without having to actually have a measurement tool, which is funny because this straight edge is a measurement tool, I can actually find my halfway point for my compass that way. And now that I've got my halfway point, I can come back here. And what's something fun to add? Let's just add a double of our center circle. That's all I'm going to add for this one. Maybe we'll get crazy with the half in the future, but for right now, I think that would kind of look cool to complete the look of this one. So that's how you can find half of a circle. And then if we need to go and add an additional ring that's going to be on the outside of our circle, we can, you'll remember our initial compass setting was the circle radius, and now I'm going to take the full root circle diameter, and that should give me a cool second ring out around my first set of circles that I made there. And then I can even keep that going. Let's keep this kind of ring echoing happening. We're just going to match it with the outside edge. Oh, the paper's rolling. That's not good. Bam. So there you go. That is how, you know, that's how you can take a compass and get started with some basic ideas to mess around with making mandalas. All right, everybody, that's our video for today. If you got something out of it, please consider subscribing to the channel. There's going to be a lot more stuff coming in the future, and maybe we'll even elaborate on the mandala series with some more elaborate concepts in the future. So I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one.